Hello and good morning, students. Slight deviation from the chapter which is presently undergoing, that is political parties. Before continuing with the chapter political parties, let me complete the task of question and answers of chapter number 4, that is gender, religion and caste. Please write down all these points, write down the question and answers. Few cadets asked me, sir, please post the video related to question and answers of the chapter. So I am responding to the request done by the cadets. Take your books, take pen, and please start writing the question and answers for chapter number 4, that is gender, religion and caste. Question number 1. Mention different aspects of life in which women are discriminated or disadvantaged in India. So you have to write here how women are discriminated in India or disadvantage being a woman in India. Answer. In India, women are discriminated and disadvantaged in the following ways. Point number 1, that is A. They are not provided adequate education, thus the literacy rate among women is just 54%. Most of the labor done by them is unpaid. They are paid for their work and receive lesser wages than men. Due to the preference for the boy child, female foeticide is practiced in many parts of the country. So these are the few examples of disadvantage. You can definitely add on to this based on the circumstances, which day-to-day activities which we generally come across in the society. Let us move to the question number 2. State the different forms of communal politics with one example each. I explained you the communal rights of various communal rights which occurred in India and resulted in a disintegration of the society. So let us go through the answers. Different forms of communal politics. The first one, the expression of communal superiority in everyday's belief. Militant religious groups are the good example. Jihadi group are the best example, best in the sense because they always claim that their religion is superior. So that definitely leads to the communal violence. Second, desire to form a majoritarian dominance or a separate state. Based on the population, if you wanted to form a state on the basis of majoritarianism, that also leads to the dominance of majoritarianism, that leads to the communal violence. Third, the use of religious symbols and leaders in politics to appeal the voters. So the religious symbols which are used by the leaders in a politics during the elections also matters. The technique is applied by many politicians to influence voters from two largest religious communities in India. Fourth, in addition to this, communal politics can be form of communal violence and riots like Gujarat, that is the Godhra violence of 2002. I further say that you can add on the answer regarding Babri Masjid issue and other major communal violence, even the starting one, that is immediately after the independence of India. So you can add on to the answer. Let us move to the question number 3. State how caste inequalities are still continuing in India. I explained to you that caste is a major factor which dominates in Indian society. And I also explained that caste is a very unique concept which we can see in India because very few countries have this concept of caste especially Western countries, they do not have this concept of caste like us in India. So state how caste inequality are still continuing in India. Answer: caste inequalities are not completely disappeared from India. Even today, most people marry within their caste or tribe. Despite constitutional prohibition on untouchability has not ended completely. Education is not easily available to so-called low caste or the lower caste. Economic status is closely linked to the caste system. In modern India, like a pre-independence India, the poor are mostly lower caste and rich are generally from the higher caste, thereby showing that the caste inequalities are still continuing in India. So, we definitely conclude that caste inequality is not completely withered away from Indian society. It is still exists in Indian society in various levels, maybe in the economic level, social level, or any other aspects of the life. Hope you are completed writing answer for question number 3. Write down everything and further you can refine the answer with your own opinion. There is no problem to that, because these are all general understanding questions, because there is no definite answer for this. Definite in the sense your answer cannot be called as wrong. Let us move to question number 4. State 2 reasons to say that caste alone cannot determine election result in India. What is the question says? Even though we say that caste influence on politics in India, but only the caste alone cannot determine the winning or losing of a candidate in the election. That is what the question. Answer: caste alone cannot determine election results in India, because no parliamentary constituency has a clear majority of a single caste, and no party wins all votes of a particular caste. Why it is? Because take for example, if a particular caste is dominant in a particular constituency, then every political party try to make or their candidates to contest for election. So naturally the votes are divided because of the same caste members contesting from various political parties. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion that caste alone cannot be a factor to win the election in India. It may be one of the factor, but it is not the only factor. That is what the answer. Let us move to the question number 5. What is the status of women's representation in India's legislative bodies? This is related to the women's representation in the parliament, or let it be in a state parliament, or let it be in the central parliament, that is in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, or state legislative assembly. Answer: when it comes to representation of women in legislative bodies, India is among the bottom group of nations in the world. Women's representation has always been less than 10% in Lok Sabha and 5% in the state assemblies. On the other hand, the situation is different in the case of local government bodies, as 1/3 seats of local government bodies is reserved for women. There are more than 10 lakh elected women representatives in urban and rural India. So in India, representation of women in Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly, that is in Karnataka it is called as Vidhan Sabha, it is very less when we compare to European and Scandinavian countries. when it compared to all these countries, our representation is very less, whereas we achieved a milestone because of the introduction of Panchayat Raj Bill. Because of the introduction of Panchayat Raj Bill, definitely the women participation in the local bodies or in panchayats, it is very high. Okay, let us move question number 6. Mention any two constitutional provisions that makes India secular state. Now, what is the question expects from you? That the constitution makers of India, or those who framed the constitution of India, very consciously they done India as a, or they adopted the secular principles to the constitution of India. That means in India there is no official religion. Instead of that, all religions are treated in a equal footing, or all religions are treated equally. Let us check the answer. Two constitutional provisions that makes India as a secular state. 1. The Constitution provides to all the individuals and communities freedom to profess, practice and propagate any religion or not to follow any. What does it mean? That the right to freedom of religion. According to right to freedom of religion, any citizen or every citizen got a right to or a freedom to practice, propagate and profess any religion of their choice. That means religion is not imposed on any citizens, rather it is the choice of an individual to follow any religion. Means if he's by birth belongs to a religion, later he can change his religion and definitely follow a religion of his or her choice. At the same time, if someone do not want to follow any religion, he is also free to do that. So you can write like this. That means religious duties are not compulsory in India. That is also a feature of a secular state. Let us move to the question number 7. Okay, one more is there, that is the Constitution prohibits discrimination on the grounds of religion. So what is the second one? That the Constitution prohibits or stops discrimination on the grounds of religion. That means in India a person cannot be denied of any political, economic, social status or any facilities by the government that because of that he belongs to a different religion. So that cannot be done. That is what we say. Constitution prohibits the discrimination on the grounds of religion. Let us move to the question number 7. When we speak gender division, we usually refer to, what do you mean by gender? First one, biological difference between men and women, unequal roles assigned by the society to men and women, unequal child sex ratio, absence of voting right for women in democracy. So when we speak gender division in biology, if you speak gender division in biology, that means it is purely the first one, that is biological difference between men and women. But here what we speak is that the second one, that is unequal roles assigned by the society to men and women. We studied that certain jobs are given in India for men because they are men by birth. Household works or domestic works assigned to women because they are women by birth. So we speak gender division in this chapter is purely because of the assigning of role to women on the basis of gender. So answer B is correct, that is unequal roles assigned by the society to men and women. That is what the answer. So we completed 7 questions. Write down all these 7 questions. Answers also write in detail. And once again I am repeating the statement that you can definitely add on to the answers of your own opinions related to the questions. Let it be question number 5, that is the legislation, the participation of women in the legislative bodies. What important here, that the Constitution of India, the Parliament is trying to pass a bill which reserved 33% of seats for women, which is still it is pending. Okay. Then here also you can write that in India you cannot discriminate based on the religion. This is secular. Caste inequalities. So we cannot say the caste inequalities completely disappeared from Indian society. It is still there. High caste, low caste, and economic status of higher caste and lower caste. This is question number 3. In question number 2, that the expression, communal expression in which is the 3. We also studied that communal expression is very dangerous to the society because it divides the society on the basis of religious group, and people start hating each other or other community or other religious group just because they are different from them. So I completed question number 1, 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, write down all this and I'll continue in my next class, left over question and answers. Take care of yourself, be happy and be safe in your homes. Thank you. Wish you a wonderful day ahead. Thank you very much.